Yo, welcome to a brand new movie review. Today's movie is Castle Freak. This movie review is a part of the Full Moon event, so if you haven't seen any of those, definitely go check out the playlist. There's like 13 videos right now. Not all of them are going to be this long. There are a few shorts in there, but yeah, definitely go check that out if you like Castle Freak, because they're all Full Moon features movies and stuff like that. So yeah, let's just jump right into the review. This movie stars Jeffrey Combs, who is Reanimator. I mean, that's definitely probably his most famous role, I would say. He's in a lot of these Stuart Gordon, H.P. Lovecraft type of movies, and I guess I should go ahead and talk about that. Stuart Gordon made a whole bunch of H.P. Lovecraft movies. He made Dagon. What else did he make? He made a ton of them, honestly. This is like a mishmash of The Outsiders and The Dunwich Horror. If you don't know what The Dunwich Horror is, you should go watch the movie that's from the 70s, I think is when it was made. That's a really good movie, actually. This is a pretty old movie, like from the 80s. You might be more familiar with the 2020 remake that Fangoria made. That's not a bad movie, but yeah, I'm gonna make a movie talking about the differences between both of these movies later, just because yeah, from the very beginning there's a lot of differences in how the freak is shown and everything. But actually, before I even talk about the beginning, I'm going to go ahead and give you a lay of the land, tell you what this movie is basically about. Jeffrey Combs is the father of a blind girl, and she is blind, well, because of him. He was driving her and his 5-year-old son, I think, home while he was drunk. He crashed because he was yelling at his son about not picking up his toy or something, and then he crashed and glass went in the girl's eyes, and the kid just died. Like, yeah, I don't know, it didn't show how he died, but I'm guessing it was just the wreck killed him. I don't know, honestly. Jeffrey Combs' character blames himself, which, I mean, obviously he was drunk and crashed. Yeah, basically his fault. But yeah, I think that is a really sad backstory. Oh my god. But yeah, the whole thing with that is actually pretty sad and a huge part of the movie. Like, it isn't just a throwaway backstory to explain why she's blind or anything. Like, it's a huge thing that Jeffrey Combs' character has to deal with all the way through. It's huge character development by the end. But yeah, it's basically that, and the star of this movie is Jeffrey Combs' character, but the secondary protagonist is definitely the daughter, and then Barbara Crampton plays the wife. I'm pretty sure that's her. She honestly didn't look like Barbara Crampton at all until the end, and I don't know why, to be honest. It just never clicked in my mind that it was her until like halfway through the movie, whenever she's talking to these cops that are there at the castle to make sure her and her daughter are safe. They do a horrible job, but yeah, I just never clicked in my mind that it was her until I saw like her complete face. Yeah, it never even shows her like very well until that part, and then I was like, oh my god, that's Barbara Crampton. But yeah, let's get into the actual story of this movie. Jeffrey Combs' character inherits a castle from his, I don't know, not great-grandmother, his mother, maybe? Something like that? I honestly have no idea. I didn't really catch what she was, but she was a duchess in a castle. Apparently, she murdered her 5-year-old son, which, I mean, that hits hard with his character, because, I mean, obviously he, kind of accidentally killed his son, but she didn't kill him, she just locked him up like an animal and beat him every day, because the very beginning of the movie is her taking one of the, like, chain whips that someone would flog themselves with, and just beating the crap out of him, and then it doesn't even show him completely in the frame. It keeps him hidden most of the movie, which is a really good idea, because it's not because the effects are bad or anything. It's actually the complete opposite of that. The effects are really good, and they should be hidden, just because I think it's more effective at the end whenever it shows him. But yeah, she just beats the crap out of him and then goes back up to her room and dies. And then Jeffrey Combs and his family comes up. It's kind of a really good mystery, like thriller at the beginning, where he's looking around the house trying to figure out what's going on. And then whenever it becomes a full-on horror movie, it goes full throttle. It's actually insane how over the top it goes as soon as it happens. The freak bites off his thumb to get out of the handcuffs that his mother put him in. He's been down there since he was like 5 years old. He's basically an animal. Like, this movie is actually pretty good at making you feel bad for the freak, because he's just an animal. He's a rabid animal that you're gonna have to put down, but he's still just an animal, basically. He bites off his thumb and gets out, goes up to the blind girl's room and just watches her sleep, and it's weird. It's a strange little sight. And then the blind girl freaks out. Jeffrey Combs' character goes up there and he's like, "I believe you," and then he goes around and looks around and finds nothing. Except a wine cellar, and then he breaks the bottle and hurts his hand. That goes back into him being an alcoholic or whatever. Obviously, character development. And then that's when he gets told the story about the Duchess killing the 5-year-old son for revenge on the Dutch, or Dutch. Yeah, a male version of Duchess is Dutch. I am intelligent. But yeah, and then that's basically it, until he goes out and gets drunk, because him and his wife are always fighting, which, I mean, yeah, she's mad at him about getting her son killed and blinding her daughter. I kind of get that. But yeah, he goes out to the bar, gets trashed, and then brings a hooker home. The funny part is, I don't think he realized that it was a prostitute until after they had sex, because they have sex and then she holds out her hand for money and he just goes, "Of course." And he's just like, of course, this day just had to get even worse. And the freak was watching them, which is, it's weird, because the freak is just basically an animal, like I said, and he kind of learns what was going on there. And the first real gory kill in this movie is what he learned from that. It's weird and gory, and the freak is actually horrifying. He wears a sheet through some of this movie, and he does it in the remake too, but it's not as creepy as here, because the freak is just... he's weird, man. He is actually just a rabid animal, and it's creepy. It's actually creepy. There's a really good scene where the prostitute is trying to find her way out of the castle, which, Jeffrey Combs' character just tells her to leave afterwards and starts crying and then passes out, which is stupid. Why would you let someone just walk around your castle that there's expensive stuff in? He's been looking through the house to find the expensive stuff to sell this entire time, and he just lets her walk around. It makes no sense, but it's fine, whatever. He was trashed and passed out. It's fine, whatever. She tries to find her way out and then goes through the they found a little, not mercenary, what's it called, for babies. I don't know what it's called. It's like a little place for babies, whatever it's called. Yeah, I cannot remember at all. But it's where they have the little rocking horse, and it's rocking back and forth, and it's super dark, and she's trying to find her way out. And as I was watching it, I was like, this is actually a creepy scene, Jesus. And then, the freak grabs her, and I thought he killed her off screen, but no, he locks her up in where he was locked, and then, I don't know, tries to do what he learned from watching Jeffrey Combs' character and her, and what he does it wrong. He needs some, I don't know. He needs some help. Okay, he does it wrong the first time. Poor guy. He has some cannibalistic tendencies apparently. Oh yeah, he eats a cat in this movie too. Yeah, he just eats a cat. He only eats like one bite and then throws it away. I don't think he liked how it tasted though. But yeah, that first kill is actually just intense. It's a really good first kill in this movie. It's insane. But yeah, that wasn't really the first kill, but it was the first gory kill. But yeah, the Freak is actually really intimidating just because he's like a rabid animal. He doesn't understand anything. He tries to talk, but he literally can't. I think if I had to guess, I would say that maybe the Duchess cut out his tongue or something. That's just how it sounds. Maybe that's not what they were going for, but that's what it sounds like. And then like all through the movie, he gets bloodier and bloodier because of like, eating people and animals and such usually tends to get your face a little bit bloody. I don't speak from experience or anything, but it just common sense tells you that. But yeah, the Freak is actually just really intimidating. And at the end, after all of that, the police come in and say that Jeffrey Combs did it because everyone loves that hooker for some reason. Not everyone, it's just that one cop, and it's because she had his kid. But I mean, I don't know. He's an angry person, the cop is. He basically threatens to beat the crap out of him until he admits that he killed her, even though, like, I don't know. That's stupid because he obviously didn't do it. And then his lawyer, it was his sister that was the second one to get killed, and they're in the same room, so they find her, and then, all of that happens. But then Jeffrey Combs escapes pretty easily. Gets to the castle right as the Freak is about to kill his wife and daughter, grabs the chain. This is like actually something that annoys me. Instead of pulling the Freak to him and then pushing him off, he just puts the chain into his hand, like on his wrist, and then jumps off of the building. It's a huge building, and then slams into the concrete. And then at the end, Barbara Crampton goes down there, and Jeffrey Combs' character just goes, "Forgive me," and Barbara Crampton's character just goes, "I'm sorry." Like, I don't know. I feel like he did that just so that she would have to say apologize to him. He's just like, "Yeah, see, now you are the one apologizing, loser," and then he dies. Yeah, I feel like he knew that the only way he was going to be forgiven was just sacrificing himself. That's why he didn't just do it the easier way and pull the Freak to him and then throw him off, or just, toss the chains somewhere. Maybe tie the chains to stone brick or something, like one of the stone pillars, to keep him in place, and then just go over there and wail on him. I don't know. But yeah, this movie's actually really good. I honestly would not have guessed that this was a weird type of version of the Dunwich Horror, unless I'd read it. And it's a version of The Outsiders too. I don't know what that is, honestly. I haven't read that or seen anything about it, but I don't know, maybe it's more like this than the Dunwich Horror is, because the Dunwich Horror is not like this. It's been a while since I've read the actual story, but I've watched the movie like 3 times this year, so I don't know. This is a good movie though. All Stuart Gordon movies are really good. The H.P. Lovecraft ones are really good, at least. But yeah, this movie is absolutely amazing. This is one of my favorite movies. Well, obviously I'm doing it off of the top 10 list from the Full Moon Features top 10 list that I made for the Full Moon event. I'm using that for this, and this is like one of the upper ones, so obviously this is my favorite one that I've reviewed so far. But this one is such higher quality than all of the other movies I've reviewed at this point that it's honestly just impressive. The lighting is amazing, the acting is perfect, everything about this is just really good. Speaking of the acting, the one thing I didn't enjoy was every time the daughter spoke, it sounded like she was holding back tears, and it made me think that they were beating her off screen to get a better like acting out of her. They were like beating the crap out of her for better acting, and I was like, oh, I feel bad for her because it sounded like she was crying every time. But yeah, even that was just amusing. It wasn't even annoying, it was just amusing. But yeah, this movie is actually shockingly good for like compared to all the other movies I'd reviewed so far. I think the other movies I've reviewed have gotten is an 8.5, and that's just because they're entertaining and like really good. But this movie is entertaining, really good. I mean, it's not as funny as any of those movies, obviously, but this is a serious movie, like really serious. It's really good. It's got amazing acting, directing. The lighting in this movie is absolutely insane. It looks really good. The special effects, whoever did the special effects deserves a round of applause because the freak looks horrifying even underneath a sheet. He's really cool. But yeah, this movie is definitely a 9 out of 10. Yeah, the other one's got an 8.5 out of 10 because they were entertaining. This one's getting a 9 out of 10 because it's just absolutely amazing. It's just really good. I think this is one of those movies that I might watch later and give it a 9.5 just because, you know, it's a different watch through, and like my scores change every once in a while depending on how I'm feeling. But yeah, this is definitely a 9 out of 10 right now. This is a very, very good movie. But yeah, tell me what you think about this movie. Tell me if you like it. Tell me if you hate it. Tell me if you love Full Moon Features or if you hate it. And if you like Full Moon Features, definitely go and watch the other Full Moon event videos, especially my top 10 video. If you don't want to watch any of the reviews, you can at least watch that and go and watch those movies if you want to. I just honestly wanted to shine a light on these movies, and I'm glad I've been able to do so with these videos. But yeah, this is a really good movie. Like, subscribe. Tell me what your favorite Full Moon Features movie is. Tell me what you would score this movie out of 10. And just, I don't know, go and watch a horror movie. Be cool like me and watch some horror movies. But yeah, like, subscribe, and see ya.